Hey there, it's Seb Fry, the Realtor here, and today I have the Santa Clara County May 2022 Real Estate Market Report, and you're going to want to watch this because I know you've been hearing talk about the market softening, but has that actually shown up in the sales data? Let's take a look. All right, but before I get into all that, would you do me a favor? Would you mash that subscribe button right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel? And don't forget to click the little bell to make sure that you get a notification every time I put up a new, cool, fun, timely, and very informative video just like this one. All right, well, before I get into all of that, I want to say that, this data here is from April. It is now 2/3 of the way through May already. And so this data is from April sales. Now, April sales reflect homes that mostly went under contract in March because it takes, on average 25 days for a house to close. So most of the closings that are happening in April actually went under contract in March. So in March, we may not have seen the full impact of all the gigantic increases in mortgage rates. And there's a lot of chatter saying that these big jumps in mortgage interest rates. I mean, the mortgage interest rate is just about double where it was at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, it was 2.5, 2.75. Now it's 5, 5.25. So interest rates have gone up a lot. And so what we're going to see here in these numbers does not reflect the full reality of how that increase in borrowing costs may be affecting our real estate market today, right? So this is a bit of a lagging indicator, but it does show at least that going into this current interest rate environment, the market was in rudely good health, but I do want you to draw your own conclusions. I mean, I'll draw some conclusions too, but I want you to draw your own conclusions. But let's go ahead and look at the data now. All right, this chart here shows the Santa Clara County median single-family home price, not condos and townhouses, and it's a rolling 3-month average to try and smooth out some of the spikes you may see. Although you will notice there's a gigantic spike there right at the very end, which is the current median home price here in Santa Clara County. And as you can see, it's about $1,825,000 on a 3-month moving average, and that is up substantially. What's pretty amazing about that chart is not only that gigantic spike at the end, of course, but just that the price increases over time. I mean, we are up 22% in April 22 versus April 21. It's a 22% home price increase in 1 year. But not only that, we are up 39% from April 2020. That is a staggering price increase in a very short period of time. Well, here goes the condo sales data. And one thing that's very interesting about this condo sales data is that prices are basically flat compared to where they were 4 years ago. That's pretty interesting. And this chart here shows the amount of inventory available for sale. And the inventory is a very key barometer because it's this low inventory which is keeping prices so high and going higher here in Santa Clara County. This chart shows how inventory has been building from February through April. And as you can see, it's gone up quite a bit, but you would expect this. Normally, January and February are the lowest inventory levels of the year. And then we have the highest inventory typically in late summer and early fall. But as you can see, there's still only a 4-week supply of homes in Santa Clara County in the month of April. And that is a very low number of homes indeed. It is so low that it basically signals that we are going to continue to see the kind of conditions that do drive prices higher. We're probably going to continue to see multiple offers. And when there's multiple offers, it almost invariably results in a home selling over asking price. Now, this one is the sales to list price ratio. And this is very interesting because you can see that in April, homes were selling only about 114.5% of asking price. And, in March, they were selling for about 115.5% of asking price. So sellers are not getting quite as much more money for their homes over asking price than they were in March, but it's still up substantially in terms of sales to list price ratio from where it was in February. And then if you look back across the years, you can see that we are way, way higher than average, and we are quite a bit higher than we were back in 2018, which was another very robust year for home sales here in Santa Clara County. But look at this, days on market. Would you look at that number going ring, all the way down? We're about 10 days on market for home sales, for single family home sales, that is, in Santa Clara County in the month of April. That must be a record low. If that's not a record low, it must be very, very close to it. I can't ever recall home selling at this very, very rapid clip. And this is just in April, and here we are in May. So if the market is starting to soften up, we really haven't seen that in the numbers presented thus far. And here we see new listings coming on the market. Now, this is a refrain you hear from a lot of buyers. Where's the listings? There's nothing for me to buy. And in fact, if you look at this chart, it shows that new listings are down a little bit from where they were in 2021. Now, they're up from 2020, obviously, because that was the pandemic year. But we're pretty similar to where we were about in 2018, a little tiny bit lower. But overall, I would have to say that, we are seeing somewhat of a typical spring season in terms of new homes coming on the market for sale. Now, it may not feel like that there's a lot of homes for sale, and that is because, remember that last slide? Homes are selling in 10 days. There really isn't anything like a buildup in inventory. Everything is pretty much still, at least as of April, selling very, very quickly. So there's never very much to choose from at any one given moment in time. Now, one thing that's very interesting here is that the listings going under contract in April was down quite a bit, and this may show up some very interesting data in the May numbers when we get those numbers in about 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, there was an atypical decrease in homes going under contract in April, and I have to think that that was caused by a reassessment of buyers, because we had a couple of things going on during that time. If you've checked your stock portfolio, if maybe you're heavily loaded down with Netflix stock, maybe, or Apple or Google or Facebook or any of these really big companies around here, a lot of these tech giants have taken a big hit to their stock price lately, and that I think is showing up in terms of how much people are putting down on houses and just causing buyers to, Santa Clara County buyers, Silicon Valley buyers, to pull back a little bit and reassess with what's going on. So I can't tell you why it is that we had that big drop off in April, but it certainly is noteworthy, and it will be very interesting to see what that means for May numbers. But yeah, that is something that is definitely anomalous and is not really the sign of a great, super strong housing market. So that definitely is a little bit of a wobble or a chop there in the market. And here we go, sales volume. These are homes actually closing escrow, not going under contract. And as you can see, we are down from last year, but we are still up from several years prior to last year. So last year, very, very, very busy year. This year, we are seeing a bit of a decrease in the number of homes which are actually being sold. And this actually has been predicted by Zillow, and has been predicted by the California Association of Realtors. They were predicting that this year we would see about a 5 or 10% decrease in homes closing escrow this year. And we are seeing that here in this chart. But now luxury home sales, luxury homes, these are homes that are, $3 million and above. And these very same homes, mind you, would have been $2 million a couple of years ago, but now they're $3 million homes. We are selling a lot more of those homes than we have in the past. In June 2021, we sold more than we have in April. But other than that, you can see that we are way, way up in terms of these, higher end home selling here in Santa Clara County. All right, well, I hope that all these charts have provided some worthwhile and valuable information to you. To me, my conclusion is that looking at these numbers, we can see that as of April, which wasn't very long ago, the Santa Clara County real estate market actually appears to be in very, very good health. That number of pending contracts in April going down like that definitely is a concern, and I do not know if that's the start of a pattern or what's going on there, but I can say this from the many, many years I've been selling real estate now, that once in a while there are anomalies, it's not always consistent, things can bump down one month and shoot back up the next month. So hard to say there, and it's definitely too soon to call it a trend, but it is something that we will be keeping our eye on, and you should be keeping your eye on it as well. All right, well, if you have enjoyed watching this, and I really hope you have, you might also enjoy watching these over here. These are some of my most popular videos here on my YouTube channel. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. I would really very much appreciate it. All right, that's all I got for now. But one last thing, please stay tuned.